Today you'll take your test for sections 14.3 and 14.4 in Social Studies. Be sure to put your name, class period, and date at the top of the page. The first section is true or false. Please write your T and F as capitals so that they're easier to identify. Number 1. People in the South moved from Upper South to the Deep South in the first part of the 1800s. 2. The economy of the South was based mostly on industry. 3. Cotton became the chief crop of the South in the 1800s. 4. The cotton gin improved production by removing the seeds from cotton. 5. The invention of the cotton gin decreased the need for slave labor. 6. The buying and selling of cotton was known as the domestic slave trade. 7. The success of the South Number 7. The success of the South's economy depended on slave labor. Number 8. There was a large need for industry in the South because cotton didn't make enough of a profit. Number 9. There was a large market for manufactured goods in the South due to the slave population. 10. The building industry was very cheap in the South. 11. Some Southern leaders wanted to develop more industry in the South. Number 12. Some Southern leaders thought that industry would improve the economy of the Upper South. 13. People in the South transported their crops and goods along waterways, including rivers and the ocean. 14. The South had more railroads than the North. 15. The North's railroad lines were short and not as linked together as the South's railroad lines. Number 16. Southern cities grew more quickly than those in the North because they were connected by railroads. Number 17. Family life for enslaved people included large, close-knit, extended families. 18. Enslaved people were not able to pass on traditional folk stories from Africa. 19. The enslaved people's music included the field holler and spirituals. 20. Nat Turner's rebellion terrified white Southerners, who then did away with the slave codes. The next section is multiple choice. Write the letter of the choice that best completes the statement or answers the question on the line. Number 21. Which of the following was not, remember it says not, a part of the white population in the South? Yeomen, A. B. Tenant farmers. C. Slaves. D. The rural poor. Number 22. Who owned large farms with many acres of land? Was that A. Shop owners, B. Factory owners, C. Yeomen, or D. Plantation workers? Plantation owners. D is plantation owners. Number 23. Which was not a job that was done by enslaved houseworkers in the South? A. Sewing, B. Teaching, C. Cooking, D. Laundry. Number 24. Which of the following jobs were not done by enslaved people in the South? A. Blacksmiths, B. Carpenters, C. Yeomen, D. Shoemakers. On page 2, we'll continue the multiple choice. Number 25. Most enslaved people in the mid-1800s labored in A. the fields, B. the house, C. the garage, D. the barn. Number 26. In the mid-1800s, the South was still largely A. agricultural, B. industrial, C. uninhabited, or D. manufacturing-based. 27. The largest cities in the South were seaports or A. train stations, B. in the mountains, C. river ports, or D. near the beach. Enslaved people often used these as ways to communicate secretly among themselves. Did they use A. the telegraph, B. spirituals, C. the telephone, or D. Morse code? Number 29. Another name for the slave codes were A. spirituals, B. black codes, C. Negro laws, or D. both B and C. Number 30. Who led a brief, violent rampage or rebellion in 1831? Was that A. Nat King Cole, B. Nat Turner, C. Nat Cincy, or D. Harriet Tubman? Who helped over 300 slaves escape to freedom during her 19 trips to the South? Was that A. Harriet Tubman, B. Nat Turner, C. Moses Grandy, or D. Cyrus Vance? The next section is matching. Here is your word bank. A. Productivity, B. Domestic slave trade, C. Process, D. Consequence, E. Discrimination, F. Overseer, G. Yeoman, H. Underground Railroad, I. Spiritual, J. Slave codes, K. Legal, L. Prejudice, M. Brief, and N. Literacy. Number 32. This word means to prepare. 33. This is the trade of enslaved people among states in the U.S. 34. This is a measure of how much a worker can produce with a given amount of time and effort. 35. This is unfair treatment based on prejudice against a certain group. 36. This word means an effect or a result. 37. This is a farmer who owns a small farm. 38. This is a plantation manager. 39. This is an African American religious folk song. 40. These are rules that focused on the behavior and punishment of enslaved people. Number 41. This was a system of cooperation to aid and house enslaved people who had escaped or who were in the process of escaping. 42. This is the ability to read and write. 43. This word means permitted by law or is allowed by law. 44. This word means short. Number 45 is a word that goes along with the word for number 35. Number 45 is an unfair opinion, usually of a group of people, not based on facts.